Hi, Erica. Thank you
Hi, Laura.
for joining me and for sharing your experience in our program. You and I have known each other for quite a while, but I would love to know. Could you just start by saying that how we met?
Yes, I met you through Instagram, which was the biggest gift to me because I've been navigating on how to just understand passive investing. And I kind of just dived into that without having the full education background. And when I started seeing your videos, I was like, oh my gosh, she's simplifying everything, like just the terminology and, the breakdown of the numbers and, just verbiage like, or the terminology, cash on cash return, cap rates, all those things. I had no clue what they meant. All I knew was, hey, how much I'm going to get as far as distributions every month and my ownership percentage. But everything else that involves regarding at least having the knowledge of how to underwrite a deal to see if it's beneficial for me. I learned it through you, this course. I'm going to be forever grateful because now I'm less scared about, just continuing with investing. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So backing up to before you even made this passive investment, what ignited you to want to start to invest in real estate? You have a full-time job. Like, why did you want to start this?
Going back to Instagram, I would see a lot of the, you know, benefits that real estate investing does have. But also, I was also introduced to it by a friend who basically encouraged me to read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So that's kind of how it all began. But I remember procrastinating it for a long time. Like, oh, I don't have time to read that book. Or, can't you just tell me? I try to take shortcuts. No, 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 I'm not going to get into it. Read the book, read the book. Finally came around reading the book, and it was just like a huge eye opener. And then like a little fear kicked in too. As far as like, oh my gosh, like how not prepared I really was for the future and for my kids, and just, not wanting them to have, hopefully them not having the same experiences that one does with the struggles, and just giving them the opportunity to have more of a flexibility, to not have to keep a job just because they know they have to pay bills, but it more of a choice. So that really was like a true, like a big eye opener for me. Like I really wanted to do this for my daughters. Um, and yeah, that was the motivator.
I love it. That's my motivator as well. I love it. And so, going back to like, so you'd already made a pretty significant passive investment prior to even meeting me. So, what made you like take the leap into starting the program? Like, how did you feel? What were the feelings behind it that got you
Yes.
to decide to join the program?
So I was really uncomfortable as far as there were certain questions that I was asking the operator, and I felt like they were not too transparent with the information. And since have I didn't have that education background, I started learning, piecing the puzzles together, I guess you could say, as I'm watching your videos, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of making sense. And so then I remember reaching out to you, and I remember being really nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't think I'm like just some random weirdo, like, oh my gosh, because it's social media, and so I was like really nervous. I was like, oh, you know what? Just gonna give it a shot. I'll try to reach out, see if she will, reply. And it was so amazing because you replied right away. And I was so excited. I was like felt like I was, you're like a movie star to me. I was like, oh my
Oh, please. Wait, no, you were just happy to have some clarity, The first thing that Erica did was send me some documents and said, just help me like sift through this. And yeah, I love to be able to help like that. So that was great.
I was like, this person that has all this knowledge, like I was just so thrilled, that you had reached out to me and tried to help me navigate all of my concerns and just being so lost in everything. And you gave me so much more peace of mind, clarity. But I did wind up discovering, like, after all this, taking your courses and everything, I was like, the operator is it's very important to me. And, so I'm very glad that now I know what to look for in an operator. Before it was just kind of like, okay, like, I know this person, yeah, but I definitely am looking for that operator that's more transparent, and just, so I'm really excited for that now and what things to look for now, so
You
I
have
feel
all
a
the
little
tools
bit
in your
more.
toolbox to be making
Yes,
passive investments with more clarity in the future. So no,
exactly.
I love that. I love it.
Yes.
So what's been the biggest takeaway you've had from joining our program and joining our group?
The biggest takeaway, I would say, is wanting to being less fearful of continuing to do this. Now I am okay. I'm more open to taking action. Before I was very like, oh, I don't know if this is something I could continue doing, just because of I was unsure on how knowledgeable I really am. What am I getting myself into? Um, and I'm just looking forward to continuing on making more deals and, even actively too. So I'm really excited about that.
At the time of this recording, Erica is closing on a property in 2 days, and that's thrilling. So exciting.
So yes, I'm just like, I want to pinch myself. Like, is this really happening? The fact that it was able to happen this fast.
Happened so
I
fast.
remember us having this conversation with you because I was unsure if I should focus on, you know, getting into, what type of property should I be looking into? And then at the end of the day, this just worked itself out. And then now I feel more comfortable, seeking more, a few years down the line. I'm going to give myself maybe like 2, 3 years recovery and then kind of restart the process again. And,
Yeah.
so I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I really love to do is help people clarify like what it is the goals are and what it is they want. So one of the things with you that we did during one of our sessions was you kind of showed me that look, you've made some pretty significant real estate investments already as an investor. But you wanted, but at the time you didn't own your primary residence anymore. And so
Yes.
now that you've deployed so much capital into real estate investments, you wanted the peace of mind of owning your primary residence too. So the townhome you're
Yes.
closing on tomorrow is something you're planning to live in. And then moving forward, you're going to be able to refinance the existing rentals that you have and deploy the capital again. So
There you
we're
go.
excited to be able
Yes.
to sit with you and not only have the clarity and create the clarity with you, but you immediately took action. And I told you before, like, I'm so impressed with you. You just,
Thank
you're not
you.
someone like dilly dallies. You're like, no, this is the plan. I'm doing it. And you did.
Yeah.
I
I
love it.
remember you gave me so much of a clear path, and you're like, you got to get that pre-approval, and as soon as you said that, I jumped on it, looked into a local lender out here that I was familiar that I had heard about, and I went with it, and then yeah, we got the ball rolling right away with everything, so it
And
worked out.
because you had that pre-approval, as soon as you found the perfect place, you could get it immediately and you could make the offer and get accepted and you're closing so
Yeah,
fast. So
I felt much more confident with it. Making these calls to the listing agents and just asking them all the questions that I needed to clarify. And yeah, and that's pretty much how I narrowed down my decision at the end. And it just worked out perfectly because the move is going to be nice. It's not, it's literally the next street over across. So it's just, yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm just
great.
excited.
So how do you feel like the live sessions helped you? Guys, because you had previously purchased the online course and you were just taking that as like more of a self-guided, privately guided with yourself, and then you joined the group sessions. What made you decide to join the group sessions, and like what was the background and how did it impact you?
The group sessions were great because it's kind of like picking other people's mind and, just hearing everybody, questions that I wouldn't probably have thought to ask. Everybody just came in with asking some really good questions. And I was like, oh, that's a good question. Okay. And then I was learning from all of that, the feedback
Such good
and,
question. The whole cohort. I'm like,
yeah,
wow, like it was such
yes.
great conversation every
It
time.
really, it really was. And then sometimes we would go longer than the hour. And I was just so excited. I'm like, the fact that you ladies would take the time to stay with us, surpassing the
It's so
hour, like
fun. It's a
it
great
was
group.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then and the visuals helped a lot as you guys are discussing, the course. That really helped a lot because I'm a very visual person. And as, we were going through each module, just explaining, like breaking it down, that was just huge for me. And being able to just jump in there and ask questions like everyone did, it was just really helpful. So I love that.
Yeah, I'm so
Thank you
glad
for
you
inviting me
joined
to
that
the
part.
course because it was you and you're
Yeah.
like, you invited me. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was so glad that yeah, it worked out. The timing was perfect.
Thank you.
Would you recommend that this course and the program? And if so, why? I know you've said a lot already,
Yes.
but anything you want to add?
I would totally recommend this course. Everything was just broken down, simplified, and all the resources that were provided. I have them all saved, ready to use, and that I've already used also in making, decisions. The cash flow calculator and just, all the resources, the property finder, it's just, I'm really excited when I start really getting into the whole nitty gritty of it. I feel more a sense of security, like, yes, I have all these tools now that I can use and that'll
Well,
help me make a better decision.
yes, yes, and you'll be hearing from me regularly to make sure that
Is that
it's moving forward. And I'm going to bring you and show you everything that I'm doing, so you can really continue to keep your brain going as you wait for the refinance on the big property.
please do.
Gonna,
I would love that.
yeah, it's gonna be
Thank
great.
you. I'm just so grateful that I came across your Instagram page and I actually started today just passing it around to my friend. She's like, "Oh, I saw her on." So I looked up are you on YouTube? Because she said she saw you on YouTube also. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, she simplifies everything. Like I'm already learning."
Oh, I love it. I
Like,
love it. Well,
yes,
thank you for sharing it, and I feel so grateful that our friendship has come from this as well. So
me too.
it's gonna be continue to be great. So thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm so excited. Thank you, and grateful.